If I was an IT professional in New Zealand right now and getting itchy feet and looking offshore, I'd probably really want to clarify what my goals are and where I'm likely to be able to achieve them. Doesn't mean that the rest of the globe isn't suffering the same way as New Zealand. You'll probably find that all cities within the developed world are going through the same challenges as we are right now. When we first entered this landscape in New Zealand, we always thought that Auckland would lead us out of the recession. It's fair to say that that may still happen. We have certainly seen a change in the market in Auckland. I'm going to refrain from using the term green shoots, but it is a change. The change we've seen is an appetite for organisations to come back out to market, roles coming out that are suggesting the kicking off of new projects and programs. We've seen demand for contract BAs, project managers, which is a great sign. The job market certainly seems different between Wellington and Auckland. I think it's fair to say that Wellington has been affected a lot more by the government cutbacks. That's had a knock-on effect in the feeling around the city, and there are other businesses outside of the tech sector and government sector that are being affected, such as the support services, cafes, restaurants and shops and bars. We have seen a change in Wellington. There has been an appetite for clients to come back out to recruitment agencies. I think there's been an appetite for clients to re-engage, even though there is still a lot of uncertainty inside the government sector. I would say it'd be a bit of a no-brainer right now for potential employers to be looking for staff. I think we've got a higher than usual amount of people looking for work. However, there is a fine tipping point between being able to find your own people and then getting an abundance of applications in the hundreds. It's certainly stuff that we're experiencing. If you've got the time to process all of those, to find the best talent, then absolutely you should be doing that and calling on us, still in those hard to fill roles. I think New Zealand always faces the challenge of people going offshore, doing their OEs, gaining experience elsewhere. It hasn't changed since I've lived in New Zealand for the last 20 odd years. Something that's been different, we've certainly observed this time, is the age of the person leaving. So rather than your sub 25-year-olds going on their OEs, which is a Kiwi rite of passage, we're seeing people who are a lot more experienced, a lot more embedded in New Zealand culture. They have family that are truly embedded, and that's a bit more of a concern because these are usually highly experienced individuals that add value wherever they work. I don't think it's such a bad thing that people do go offshore, so long as we have the opportunity to bring them back again, so they can bring their learnings and their experience back into New Zealand and continue to add value as they've added value elsewhere. How you do that is the million-dollar question. It could be a whole raft of things, such as kind of tax breaks, but more importantly, I think it's opportunity, exciting work, and being able to work with organisations that have a global impact. I think the current climate is very challenging for a lot of people, not just inside technology and not just inside government sector, but in New Zealand as a whole, with people losing jobs, worried about being able to pay bills and worrying what's next. The time now is to get yourself interview ready, get yourself job ready. You need to be researching like you've never researched before. You need to be looking at organisations that you would like to work for. You need to understand who's doing what inside those organisations. You need to be connecting with recruiters, maybe just a handful, not everyone. Don't do scattergun approaches with your applications. Be very, very strategic about who you apply for jobs with, but do make connection. Make sure your CV is ready. Make sure you have an appropriate cover letter. Make sure your social media presence is current and up to date. It's really, really important that you can back everything up that you've got out there in the World Wide Web. If I got $1 for every time someone asks me what's going to happen, I think that it's going to be pretty much the same as what we've seen thus far. Change will continue. At what pace, I'm unsure. At the beginning of the year, everyone was talking about July, everyone was talking about October, and now we're talking about next year. So who knows? What I would say is it's been a challenge for everyone, but I am absolutely convinced that 2025 is the year to thrive.